Monsieur le secrétaire général, Monsieur le président de l'Assemblée générale, Madame la présidente du Conseil de sécurité, Monsieur le juge en chef de la Cour internationale de la justice, Excellences, chers amis et collègues, en reconnaissant cet anniversaire historique, il est important de comprendre le sens significatif des réalisations de 1945, tout en prenant un moment de réflexion sérieuse sur notre parcours actuel. Quand on considère que les experts retracent désormais notre existence en tant qu'espèce à 300 000 ans et la révolution néolithique à 12 000 ans, il convient de se rappeler, comme je le dis souvent à mes petits-enfants, que 80 ans, ce n'est pas vieux. Nous sommes une organisation qui est jeune dans le sens historique. C'est dans notre mémoire vivante que cette organisation, tout comme nos vies, a été marquée par des réussites et des échecs, des périodes de véritables avancées et des reculs difficiles. Nous aurions avantage à ce moment à poser un regard lucide sur ce que nous avons accompli en reconnaissant à la fois nos succès et nos échecs, sans pour autant sombrer dans l'autocritique stérile ni dans des banalités suffisantes. L'ONU n'est pas un gouvernement mondial et la Charte, dont nous commémorons aujourd'hui la signature de plusieurs nations, n'est pas du tout parfaite, il faut le dire. Elle était fondée avec de grandes aspirations, l'espoir dont a parlé le secrétaire général, mais aussi avec les marques de la géopolitique de l'époque. C'est inévitable. C'est une conséquence des compromis qu'on a dû faire pour établir une organisation qui reste toujours la seule organisation multilatérale qui est universelle. Nous continuons de vivre avec l'imagination de nos prédécesseurs et des limites dans lesquelles nous devons travailler. C'est ça la vie, c'est ça la politique, c'est ça notre travail. Mais nous devons continuer. Il ne faut pas céder au pessimisme, ni se laisser emporter par la rhétorique. Lorsqu'on a demandé à Benjamin Franklin quelle forme de gouvernement avait créé la Révolution américaine, il a répondu sagement. Il a dit « Une république, si nous pouvons la conserver ». On dirait la même chose de la Charte. Avec la création de l'Assemblée générale, du secrétariat, du Conseil de sécurité, du Conseil économique et social et la Cour internationale de justice et toutes les institutions et traités mis en place depuis, on nous a donné les outils pour bâtir un monde meilleur si nous sommes capables de les utiliser. C'est le grand philosophe Blaise Pascal qui a bien décrit le dilemme qui nous entoure. La justice sans la force est impuissante. La force sans la justice est tyrannique. Pascal's embrace of the profound irony that without enforcement, justice is impotent, but that power without justice is tyranny, is still the central dilemma that surrounds us in all the work that we do. Tyranny and injustice enfold and threaten us today just as surely as they did in 1945. But like the great generation that struggled with the Depression, the rise of fascist and communist dictatorships, and then fought a bitter and devastating war, our own times require our commitment to values and principles in a spirit of achieving the possible, but never ceasing to seek the better. I would remind us all that human rights and economic justice, and here I speak as president of the Economic and Social Council, are as much a part of the Charter as peace and security. The Charter, yes, it insisted on the equality of nation states, and it pointed throughout to the dangers of aggression. But it also created an economic and social council whose focus is nothing less than the human condition itself, the dignity and equality of all people, the deeper and widening prosperity that are so important for our well-being. Mr. President, I have in my hand a copy of the Charter that my father used to use, and I have from time to time referred to it, and I will only refer briefly to two pages. In the first article, when it states the purposes of the UN, it states very clearly that its objective is, yes, peace and security, yes, improving relations between countries, but also to promote and encourage respect for human rights and for fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. So those who say they are friends of the Charter, this is what you have to be friends of. Not just pick and choose, not just the a la carte menu that the Secretary General referred to. And all of chapters 9 and 10 are about the social and economic rights of all the people. It's all about how can we use the experiences that took us through not just the war, but the dark valley of poverty and of depression and of excessive nationalism that marked the years leading up to that war. And that's what led to the creation of the Economic and Social Council. That is what has led to the creation of all the agencies that are as much a part of the purpose of the United Nations as the Security Council or of the Presidency or even of the Secretariat. And it's important for us to remember that. Over the last 80 years, we've seen billions lifted out of poverty and over 140 countries achieving political independence. We have learned that the pursuit of peace and security, the linking of development and sustainability, and the expansion of human rights and freedoms under the rule of law are not only compatible or nice to have, they are essential pillars of this organization in everything to do. The network that we have built, which we are now seeking to reform under the program of UN 80, the network we've created is there for a reason. It's not to subsume nation states, it's to strengthen nation states. It's to allow and permit and provide the resources that allow nation states to do what they want to do. Global and even planetary problems and challenges cannot be solved by national and local governments alone, but neither can they be addressed effectively without civil society, without nation states, without local and regional governments, and an active citizenry all around the world, all engaging in transforming laws, treaties, and even resolutions into realities. It was the great Jawaharlal Nehru who once said that he regarded the Commonwealth, which India joined upon independence, as independence plus. We should see the UN in the same spirit, not as the enemy of sovereignty, but rather as its enabler. As we renew our vows, as it were, today, the vows that some of us made in 1945 and all of us made at some point since that time, accepting the Charter in all of its strengths and all of its weaknesses, but accepting the principles that are there. Let us continue to fight hate, tyranny, and the poverty that still afflicts too many people, and to renew our commitment to freedom, sovereignty, and equality under law. There are, after all, forces in the world now, as there were in 1945, that spread messages of despair, that tell us how bad we're doing, that say how awful everything is, including everything about the United Nations. Well, if I may borrow a phrase from a famous former American ambassador to the United Nations, don't blame Madison Square Gardens every time the Knicks lose a basketball game. Responsibility lies in us. It lies in nation states. And so we have to continue to fight against misinformation and lies and to take back the dark night that denies the light of truth, rationality, science, and the rule of law. We didn't find perfection in 1945, and we do not have it today. But no matter what the song says, we did not lose our hearts in San Francisco. Rather, it would be more correct to say we found them. We found our hearts as well as our minds, as well as our collective will. And that's what we must never lose. And let us also remember that it's not just politicians and diplomats who represent what the United Nations is. Let us reflect on the dedication of the doctors and nurses who are caring, as we speak, for the sick and the wounded. Let us reflect on the refugees who are struggling to find the pathways to education and work and who never, ever give up. Let us reflect on the women refusing to accept the autocracy of gender apartheid. Let us celebrate the innovators and entrepreneurs excited by the potential of new technologies and new discoveries. We must continue to have, as they have, the courage and heart of good people. We have the skills of people who know how to build things, who know how to make things, who know how to improve things. And we have the persistence of all those who have taught us never, ever to relent in the face of cruelty, neglect, complacency, and cynicism. Let us, instead of seeking perfection, which we will never find, let us rather embrace the beauty of the broken, to see that failure is the essential step in learning how to pick ourselves up and succeed. The poet and singer Leonard Cohen told us, and I've used these words before from this podium, but it won't be the last time you will hear me say this. Let us remember to ring the bells that still can ring, and remember to forget your perfect offerings. There is a crack in everything, which is where the light gets in. Let us continue to learn, to repair, to heal, to forgive, and yes, to love and treat each other and the world we are in with dignity and respect, which are the foundational values that we find in the Charter we are commemorating today. Let us reform and have the courage to reform in order to preserve and in order to improve. And let us, above all, continue to find the places, wherever we can find them, where the light gets in. Thank you very much.